Good morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. on a Monday near Salem, Oregon. I'm at the Pilot, just north of it, north of Salem. I've got the engine running because I was getting the windshield defogged and recharging the tablet. The electrical system has been strange in the truck, and for some reason it drained the tablet battery to 0, and I took a 34 here, so that if I had left it unplugged it probably would be 80 or 90%. So something weird is going on. Let me turn the camera around. This is out the windshield. Let's see if we can see the dash. There's an issue here where my auxiliary battery isn't registering. That happened like almost, after I got out of the dealership where they were working on the electrical system, and they were getting the panel in the back working, and then I left and it started fritzing out a bit, but I didn't want to tell them I wanted to see how it worked first to see if it was livable, and then also telling them about it would jeopardize my home time because I was already I was in a good spot to get to home time, but I couldn't afford a couple more days for them to try to figure this out. And I didn't know if it was actually a problem, if it was going to be a problem. But I could see that it was switching between different numbers. It would say it's at 60% and 100% and 20% and nothing, and then so it makes me think there's loose wires in there somewhere. I don't even know where to look. I'm very much not familiar with the system, what's involved in that electrical system. So I guess, and this is a little bit of an experiment to see how the audio is with the engine running. And I guess I don't really need the air on full blast right now anymore. I've cleared out the windshield's cleared off. Put air in the trailer brake system. See what the tablet's at 6%. I need to be able to turn it on and use it for today. I don't know how long it takes it to charge all the way. That's my telling me it's been idling for too long. And let's go take a look at the load. Let's see. Just turn it off. So I've got a fencing product picked this up in Denver, outside of Denver, north of Denver. Let's see how the camera does. These are I think these are just like chain link fence or something wrapped up and standing up on end. And they had these wooden V-boards that they came around with. They had them already built on a pallet. They were actually pretty nice. And they're definitely the correct solution on these. I tried my plastic V-boards first, and I was just like, they were just sucking into in between the rolls and just deforming. They weren't holding very well. And then there's all these kind of some sort of fence paneling and this is 2 stops. So I think this one goes with my one of the stops separately. But it took me a while to get this one secured. I had to get up on the top a few times to sort out the straps. This fencing is so close to the rub rail, it was hard to get hooks through. So instead of doing the way I normally do hooks there, it's like down there, the way that Melton taught us in school to wrap them around wouldn't work. I couldn't force the hooks through that way, so I pushed them through this way and hooked them up underneath. But because I was doing that, they weren't rolled correctly to be thrown that way, and so they were twisted when I threw it over, and so I had to go and sort them out. And I probably would have had to sort them out anyways on the top of this load. There's a lot of like little stuff to catch on up there, so I had to get it all sorted out. And then this is the way that they taught us in Melton School. There's different truckers do it different ways. One of the million milers told me not to do the full wrap and do one less wrap, because he was saying that that would prevent cut. Like if something rubbed on your rub rail, it would be rubbing on metal instead of the fabric, so it would be less likely to cut. But I just been doing it the way they trained me. I don't know. There's pros and cons, but sometimes I use this hooking. It's underneath the trailer, and actually I've been told that DOT actually even prefers this. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I've been told. And I think it's more secure because you're hooking into the structure of the trailer instead of like this rub rail. I think this rub rail's like can take less weight than the hooking underneath the trailer. I think that's, but it's not. I mean, for most of our loads, it doesn't matter either way. And one of the disadvantages of hooking underneath the trailer is you need to get your winches sorted out before once you start hooking and tightening, then it's hard to move. You can't move the winches past where the hooks are without taking them apart. And then you also have to make sure, you have to go back and double check and make sure that they stayed hooked correctly in the right spot. Because they're not as, I don't know. But it's just different things for different times. Like, I mean, there's the one way where we were taught, like, and this goes for like the spooling them up as well. So this is more like what we were taught in school with the excess folded up and pinched underneath the strap. But on this one, on the X straps, a lot of times I do I spool it up all up on here. The disadvantage is you have to tighten it a few more times because there's that slack will come out of this roll itself, will create some slack, and so it won't be as super tight as you can get one of those initially, and then you'll have to crank on it a couple extra times on load checks. But the reason I do it is because this if I fold up the tail up here and stack it under here, it just makes me nervous that it doesn't like sit really well. I'm sure most of the time it probably won't come apart, but I don't like most of the time and probably. I like definitely won't come out and be a problem. I don't know. I don't want. a big spew of fabric flying behind me or anything. So, anyways, and this is one of the first times I think I've had a bulkhead on both sides. It probably wasn't necessary, but it just ended up. This is where I would have wanted most. I might have put all of the bulkhead here if it had been more convenient, but I had six things of six pieces of dunnage, and only I could put about 4 here. I could have, a lot of times I might have done it double wide and done 3, but it didn't. The spacing wasn't good for it, so I just did the 2. And and this one of these, I pulled the strap too hard and snapped the board up at the top. But there's still one up. There's a board up on top of the bundle that's keeping it from pulling through, and it's keeping it. It's basically like putting a tight hand up on the top of those, so it's staying nice. But I was just cranked too hard on that. I had to stop cranking on these. I was worried that I might snap these too. But anyways, that's my load. I've got another probably 30 minutes by now before I need to start moving. It's a double 2 stops, and they're about, I don't know, 20-30 minutes apart. It shouldn't be too bad. It's nice that it's not a tarp load, so that's nice. Looks like it's a little bit of rain up there in the sky. I might get wet a little bit, but I've got jackets and stuff, so that'll be fine. And then I'm curious, I'm supposed to be going to home time tomorrow up in Seattle, so I'm curious to see if they will give me a load or if they'll just send me empty up there. We'll see. Oh, and I had a really nice, I guess I wanted to talk about the drive, and I'll hopefully put in some footage. I had a really nice drive coming in on 84 through Oregon. And I'll probably, I think I got enough footage, and it was really good lighting too. I'll have to check what I got, but I might make that into its own little separate video, just in case people want to see. It's one of the top tier roads in America, probably. 84 going into Portland. Pretty nice. I was all the way across Idaho. And the day before that, on this load, I met up with a friend from training, Ammon. He was going on the same road across Wyoming. We were sharing Interstate 80. Going westbound. He was going from Michigan to Nevada. I was going from Denver to Oregon, and we happened to be on the same road at the same time in the same direction. So it was pretty cool. We convoyed for about a little more than an hour, and then stopped at the Welcome Center in Utah. And that was where pretty much the last stop before we split, and took a little extra time, walked around. This is a nice little spot, the Welcome Center in Utah. There's some mountains and cliffs right there, and we walked around, took a look at it a little bit more than I had done before, and just got caught up a little bit, chatted a little bit, and then and kept going. So that was cool. And then I guess go deliver this today, and then talk a little bit. My 34, I didn't do a lot good with it. I didn't even leave the truck. I just stayed in the truck and played a stupid video game. I've been feeling very disconnected from a lot of people in general. I don't know how I'm going to find a connection or people that I belong with, because I feel like I think so differently. I'm on a different path from almost everybody, and the way I think is different too. I believe in God, but I don't believe in the God that the American church believes in. I don't think. I think I've been reading, or I've been listening to the Old Testament as I've been driving, and it's further cementing to me that a lot of the church today doesn't know God. They wouldn't recognize him if he spoke to them. They don't know who he is or what he's about. They've changed his, they've put words in his mouth that he didn't speak, and they represented him in a way that isn't authentic to who he is. And a lot of times it's to make themselves feel better, and it's a kinder, gentler God that they want to believe in. But he is the oldest. He is an old God, the God of the Old Testament. He didn't have a personality change in the New Testament. He gave us a new way to relate to him, and it is an amazing development. But it's not like he reformed, he changed all his way and became a different sort of God all of a sudden. He's the same God, the God that made the earth that we're living on, and he made meadows and butterflies, but he also made wolves and storms. And I don't think people give him proper respect and understand his nature. They only take the parts that they like. So I don't know how to relate to people. If that's a really important thing, I think. But I don't know how to relate to a whole culture full of people who are, maybe they have never heard another. Maybe there are some that would recognize if I was able to explain it well. That's what the other problem is. I feel like I try to put to words what I've been seeing and thinking, and I don't feel like I'm properly explaining it very well. So maybe there are some that would be interested. I think one of the ways that I might move forward is by inviting people to a Bible study where we literally read through the entire Bible. And I've been thinking that let the Bible call the people that like use it as a way to call people, and then change, let it do the filtering, let it do, like God's word, do the changing and the filtering, and then see who will go the whole distance through the Old Testament and face the reality that's there that I don't think many people face. So we'll see. But I do feel like I could use my my downtime better. Sometimes that's part of what I was feeling, but it is nice to just relax. There is time for that. But perhaps I could have used my time a little better. But I've got it's also not terrible to get some just like general lazy time out of the way here at a truck stop when I've got my home time coming up. So hopefully, instead of just sitting and doing nothing when I'm on home time, I'll have gotten some of it out of my system and be ready to go hiking or try out the new camera and see how that goes. Anyways, it's probably way too long. We'll see if I edit any of that out and get rolling in a bit. I got a little bit of breakfast. I've got some I went and took a shower, then got some water, got some yogurt and some pickles and a pack of meat and cheese. That'll probably be, some of that will be breakfast. I've been doing good, eating as healthy as I can manage at a truck stop. There's a handful of things that I found that I can buy and feel fairly good about. It's not the best, but I do what I can. That's what I can do. So get on with the rest of this day and see how it goes.